Good morning, it's Cecilia from Pardon Farm. It is negative 33 degrees out right now, so we're gonna go outside and check on our chickens, and I thought I would bring you guys with. So, here we go. Oh, it's so cold. You guys, this is terrible. It's terrible. I don't ever remember in my adult life it being this cold out. I have to be honest with you. I don't know, maybe I've never paid that much attention, but I really don't recall it ever being this cold out. There's a beautiful sunrise, but it's cold. So let's take a look and see how the chickens look this morning. I'm thinking they're not going to want to come out of their coop, and that's okay. We'll just leave them in here. You'll see that I have some supplements. Well, excuse me, Mr. Duck. Good grief. You'll see that we have some supplemental light in here. So you can see chickens are just hanging out on their roosts, all puffed up. We do have some heated roosts in here, but they really never use them. But we do put them out when it gets, well, it's never really been this cold, but when it gets this cold out. We do have some eggs this morning. When it's this cold out, I come out right away and get eggs. I also will come out again several times today and get some eggs. But really, we don't have it because we don't have any heat in here. And you can see how nice and clean the eggs are. If you keep your nesting boxes nice and clean, your eggs will stay clean. However, every once in a while, we have chickens like this guy over here who likes to lay, not in a nesting box, but in the corner on the shelf. So those eggs aren't always as clean, but without supplemental heat in here, which we do not have, it is probably at least 20 degrees warmer walking in that door than it is in here or outside. And that is partially due to just being out of the sun and that kind of, or out of the wind and that kind of stuff. But also we use a deep tissue, excuse me, sir, a deep tissue method for our bedding, and that helps create heat in here. And I just filled up their feeder last night, so they really haven't eaten a whole lot since I was out here last night. But I just wanted to check and make sure everybody's okay. We're gonna give them some fresh water. They have corn also, which they may be eating instead of their traditional feed because it does help them stay a little bit warmer. The only thing that I really worry about with these guys when it is this cold out is sometimes their combs can get frostbite, and if you can catch them and put some Vaseline on it, that really helps protect them. And I did that to a few of them, but Mr. Rooster is not a particularly nice chicken, and I could not catch him, so we will see what happens with that. But overall, I mean, it looks to me like they're pretty happy and doing fine. They're puffed up, definitely, but that's how they stay warm, is puffing up their feathers and having basically a down jacket on. And like I said, it's probably at least 20 degrees warmer in here than it is outside. So, as you can see, you can't see my breath when I'm in here, but outside you definitely can. So, definitely warmer. Looks like everybody's happy and healthy this morning. I'm going to pour them some water and I'll be back out to check on them in a few hours and pick up eggs. Otherwise, my eggs will freeze and crack, so I have to keep picking them up throughout the day on cold days like this. But just wanted to send you guys a little update for negative 33 degrees here in Wisconsin this morning. We are going to try and do a video later this week on some gardens, on some garden starts and making rabbit manure tea. So I'll look forward to seeing you guys then. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. As always, keep growing. Bye. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to tag on to the end of that video. I just got in from doing chores for chickens and rabbits, and one thing that people sometimes forget when it's this cold out is that if you don't take care of yourself, there's going to be nobody to take care of your animals. So just make sure when you're going out in these really negative wind chills and temperatures that we're not used to, make sure that you're covering up as much of your skin as possible and that you're minimizing your exposure as you're caring for your animals. Sometimes, especially me, to do some of the rabbit latches and that kind of stuff, I have to take my gloves off. And so then very often I'll have to come in partway through chores just to warm up my hands and my fingers, because otherwise I'll get frostbite. And that's okay. Just plan ahead a little bit, because chores do generally take you longer when it's this cold out. Things that usually work don't. For example, this morning we have heated rabbit waters. They did not work. They were frozen. So we had to resort to getting some bowls out for the rabbits and those kinds of things, which is not that big of a deal. But if you are rushed because you have to go to work or you have somewhere to be, it's better to get up a few minutes early and have that extra time than to be stressed and not be able to take care of your animals. So just make sure that you're taking care of yourselves, keeping warm, and making sure that you give some extra time to those animals when we're dealing with this unprecedented weather. I hope everybody stays safe out there. Keep growing.